Hi, this is Brent from PathandTarot, and in this video we're going to talk about the new changes to the PathandTarot deck. I'll show you what those changes are, and we'll talk a little bit about how I decided to make those changes and why. And then we'll talk a little bit as well about how that affects you, how you're going to be able to interact with those changes. So let's just get right into it and show you some cards. And it's weird because anytime you interact with like the tarot cards, even if you're not doing a reading, you sometimes get forced into a reading of sorts. So here's the cards. This is what they look like now. It's really cool. If you've been watching this channel and you've seen the PathandTarot cards, as they were, so to say, then you can see, oh yeah, you should notice these changes, pretty quick here. It's the borders. The borders have been updated. I've just changed the design. All like the color schemes are all intact. Like that's still there. It's just how that design looks. And the other change is that I've removed like the transparency effects for the symbols at the top and bottom of the cards, the suit symbol, as well as like the playing card and elemental symbol. So it pops more, and I've made it a little bit bigger, so it fits, and it just kind of makes sense once I started to do the changes. Visually, yeah, it just clicked. And then finally, the last change is the court cards have been redesigned in a more cleaned up way. I think also to fit with like the minimalism type of theme as well, and I think it works really, really well. Now the change, one of the reasons behind at least the change with the court card primarily is that I wanted to have the tarot just harmonize more with the playing cards. They already worked really well kind of as it was, but I think this change really kind of solidifies that much more than it had been. So that's really cool. Another reason why I put these changes into place is that like once you make something, it just there's so much energy that has to go into the initial creation of that thing, and that you just want to get it out there. And so once it's out there finally, your artistic brain kind of gets freed up a bit, and you can start to really think, well, hey, what can I do to update or change this? And that's kind of what had happened with these changes too. I had some time to play with the cards and think, well, what's the next thing I can do here? So let's get the original PathandTarot deck out here, and we can actually start to compare. And just when a few cards come out, right away you get the sense of, oh yeah, that's the difference, right? The just like the thickness really of like the border design, right? Basically what I did is I used some pre-made elements in Canva and just overlaid them in a special way to kind of get that to get this design. And it worked really well initially. Like I was really happy with how the cards turned out at the beginning. But these are the things that your artistic brain kind of picks up after something's been created, because there's a weird effect that happens in the initial process of making something, right? Now, because what you're making is completely brand new, it hasn't even existed before. So the moment you see it, you think, whoa, cool. Like, you have no frame of reference for this thing. And so you think, oh, well, that's great, good enough, right? Like, how can you conceive of something beyond what you've created that hasn't existed before? So that's kind of what happened too, right? Is that as I was designing it, I thought, this is how I'm going to design the cards, and that's it. So now that they're made, I've got a frame of reference to the cards here. So this gives you an idea. They're two different suits, but there's a more clean feeling on this card here, the new PathandTarot design. I still like this design, but it's just, it's different, right? So let's see if we can we'll do a free selection and try and grab the Queen of Pentacles, if we can find the Queen. And you'll be able to see like the direct comparison between the two. And then we're going to get some playing cards out here, and then we'll talk about kind of what's going to happen because of these changes. So there you go, we got that. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles there and there. So I've updated the colors a little bit, so I've focused in on just a more particular set of colors for the Pentacles, because the suit of Pentacles just, it has more colors like in that suit. Pardon me, I'm the real deal. I don't take breaks if I've got a cough. Okay, we're back. So as you can see, the difference is quite substantial, even though not a lot has really changed outside the border and just the implementation of the playing cards, the symbol found in the playing cards. So let's get those pulled out here, and you can start to see them, Patham playing cards. So I'll do a free selection and try and find the Queen of Pentacles. So now that you've seen a few cards in this free selection, you kind of get an idea of the feeling of like the cards. So like it feels better with like the new tarot cards, like with the flat color design, I think, because it feels thin here with this just design style. So basically, I took the symbol right off the playing card, put it onto the tarot card, and just had that be the design, and I think it works really good, and they're going to work really well together with playing cards when they're used. So that really covers like the exact changes that have been made to the PathandTarot deck, and some reasons why those changes happened. A lot of it's just really artistic, right? You create something, you think, well, how can I make this a little bit better? And what can I do? Now the playing cards for the PathandTarot playing cards, let's get those pulled out here. Now the interesting thing is that like the playing cards, they were kind of born at the same time. Like they're kind of like siblings in a way, because the border design is like the same on the playing cards, basically, if you can see. And so now that the border is changing on the tarot cards, the playing cards will at some point have to be redesigned. And so that brings us to kind of how it's going to affect you, the viewers, is that on the store for Make Playing Cards, where you can get these decks, is that's going to change. So I'm going to sunset the PathandTarot deck, right? That's going to be taken down and replaced with the new version of the PathandTarot deck. But I'm going to remove the playing cards. They're going to go. I'm going to take them down so that I can redesign them. So this video is almost like a heads up, like a warning call to all you viewers out there, because this will be like your last chance to get these decks as they are right now, like the original version. So that's kind of a cool thing. It's almost like a limited edition run of these decks. So that'll be kind of like your last chance to do that. Now my plan right now is to sometime in October make that happen, that I'll implement the change. So it gives you a little bit of time right now to think about how you want to handle this news. But you'll have about a month, right? It's September right now, the beginning of September, so you've got almost a month to figure out what you want to do. And I'll leave you with that, and then you'll be able to see these tarot cards, the new ones, in action pretty soon. They'll probably be in action before the changes happen up on the store, so that's kind of how it will go. But there's a good overview of like the playing cards and how they relate to the tarot cards there. Now an interesting thing is possible when you share the same size with the tarot cards and the playing cards, you can use them together in the same deck. It'll be a really big deck, but you can use them together because the back design is the same and they're the same size, so you can mix it all together. You know, you can do like a wash of the cards if you want to do it that way, or even switch out cards. You could swap out the number cards and the court cards if you want, or leave them whichever you want. It can spice up your reading substantially. So that was the cool thing originally with the playing cards and the tarot cards. They were born kind of at the same time for that reason, along with, you know, their own separate uses, you know, with like Beat the Devil and that kind of solo card play, and, you know, a way to facilitate tarot readings, but also to be its own individual divination tool, right? The playing cards. So there you have it. I think the new playing cards, or just the playing cards as I have them now, I think they're going to be a good a fit with like the new tarot cards. But very simple colors, and then the colors become more elaborate with like the new Path and Tarot deck, and it's gonna be great. I'm very happy with all of that. And it's been a fun process too to design these cards over the last few years. Like development started happening like 2020, so it's been a while. You know, the studying, all the learning process, the books involved, like the daily learning processes, getting used to the tools. It was a lot of work. It was very worthwhile, you know, to do all this and put this all together. So I'm very happy for that, and I'm thankful for, you know, all the interaction of you, the viewers, as well too. So this will be available for you very soon, and you know, get what you can while you can. Think about that, and I'll see you in the next video and tarot reading and playing card reading and elemental reading. Okay, bye.